Speed training is a way of developing a performer's speed over short distances. This is useful in almost all sports because speed can be the difference between winning and losing. For example, a rugby player needs to be able to cover a distance quickly to avoid being tackled by the opposing team, so that they can advance towards the try line. Another example is when a tennis player needs to sprint from one side of the court to the other to reach the ball. Speed training should always be carried out in the speed zone of the training pyramid. It is of a very high intensity, so work periods should be short and frequent and interspersed with lots of short rest periods. It is generally accepted that a work-to-rest ratio of 1 to 6 is desirable. This means that a performer should work at a maximum level for a very short period, and then follow this with a rest period that is 6 times longer, repeating the sequence several times. There are a number of training methods performers can use to improve their speed. These include hollow sprints and acceleration sprints. Interval training can also be used to improve speed when it is completed at a high intensity for a short duration. Hollow sprints. This is where high intensity work is broken up with low intensity work. This lower intensity is known as a hollow period. A typical hollow sprint session would look something like this. Acceleration sprints. This is where the run-in speed is progressively increased from jogging to striding and finally to sprinting at maximum speed. A typical acceleration sprint session would look something like this. As the name suggests, the aim is to accelerate away from the starting position. This may be static, a rolling start, or a sport-specific position. For example, rugby players may start the sprint by lying on the ground to simulate a ruck. Whereas footballers may start with their backs to the direction of the sprint to simulate turning away from a defender and sprinting in space.